Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and we'll start with the S&P and the NASDAQ. I think I'll also have a look at some banks as well. Now, obviously, we've got Christmas next week. We're likely to see lower volume come into the markets. We're starting to see that now. With the S&P here, we've been looking for wave 4 up to wave 5 here. We're looking for 5 waves, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we don't have far to go, and we're in this correction here now, I reckon. Obviously, I've also mentioned as well, and pretty obvious, that the 6,000 has got plenty of zeros on it, so psychologically it's a sticky number, and the lower volume coming into sort of the Christmas period and all the rest of it, I feel like it's just going to kind of stick around here and get a little bit sort of messy on this. If I just go to the that's one count. This is, well, just talk about it while we're here. So wave 4 here is 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, the fourth, and the fifth, and having a top in here. So I'm just trying to sort of figure out if that's sort of the case or not, but I don't think it is the case. It's not like we're going to miss anything anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not a big deal, but wave 4 here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 here. So basically now I don't think the NASDAQ is in this wave 4 here just yet. We'll check that out in a moment. So definitely in a correction here. So wave 4 and then a move up for wave 5. How far this will go up, I really don't know. I mean, the S&P have got the banks with them, so I just wanted to have a quick look at the banks. And we've used this chart before. This is Morgan Stanley's here. And with this one here, the last time we sort of spoke about it, the last few times, we could see we have this move up here, and we're looking for a correction. So I think we've still got something, in the bigger picture for this still to move up here, because obviously this is a third wave here, and if we look whichever way you want to count this here, you could look at it as 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 and 2 again as well, and then this move here. If we have a look at this on the daily chart here, so yeah, just looking at it as 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do this a little bit differently as well. I could put wave 2 over here for this, not a big deal, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't really matter. You've got overlapping wave structures, so it has to be counted as 1 and 2. And if that's the case, then it really leaves this here as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 in here, and 3, 4 here, and then 5 up here for the third wave. So you've got the fourth wave here. So there's still, in this case, I haven't really pulled this apart, but it looks like an A and a B and a C to come down here, probably a little bit sort of further to come down on this. We can see the stochastics is way down here anyway, so we should see a push up here, but I think this has still got this, I don't think that we're really near a top for the banks. When we have a look at Goldman's here as well, looking from this low as 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 1 and 2. I can't call it 3 and 4. I could go 3 and 4, but it doesn't make any sense because the gap's in wave 3 here. So 3, 4, 5. So in wave 4 here, once again, the stochastics here just set on normal things. So not quite ready, but we'll see another little push down here, level with wave 4 here, I guess. And so yeah, I think this has still got this to go to the upside here, and BAC is much the same as well. Looking for a wave 4 here. I suppose I could tighten this up 1 degree, I guess, but not a huge deal. Morgan's here as well. 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could bring this over here and tighten this up 1 more as well in here, I guess. Doesn't really fit because it leaves me with 3 waves there, but anyway, I still feel there's like more to go at the top here for the banks. That's, I'm just sort of pointing that out for this, because I know that when we do start correcting, then all the bears are going to come out, and there'll be fear will be sold everywhere. But I do believe that we're quite close to a top here for this particular market. And if I just go into the 1000 tick area here for this, and So from this little top here, we'll have to look at this as 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5 for the third. So with this 5 waves here needs to be matched, and we'll have to look at this as an A and a B, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 up here for a B wave. How to count this to the downside? Obviously we've got 5 waves here, not a problem. I could put this here as an ABC for a B wave here, and then a C wave here, or I could put wave 2 over here, and I could drag, that means I'd have to look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, I have to look at that in its own merit, so I'd have to pull this down to here and this down to here, and we still need to come down a bit lower on this, like we do with the banks as well, to finish this off for the S&P here, but we'll talk more about that a little bit later. I don't think the NASDAQ has got this wave 3 top in here just yet. The way I've counted this to the upside here is also obviously important as well. So from this wave 2, 1 and 2 here, and then looking for wave 3, 4 and 5 up here in this case. I think that's probably the best count there. And the NASDAQ, so with the NASDAQ here, we've got from this wave 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and it's pretty straightforward here as 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know, I think we're quite close to this little top here for this, and that would make the wave 3 here, so it's a little bit different from the S&P. So the S&P is probably, you know, got the weight of the banks on there as well. So I don't think this is quite here just yet. So if I just cut straight through to 1,000 and pick it up here, it's a little bit sort of weird, I have to say. Let me get some more data in here. So we've had this wave 3 and 4 here. This has been all pretty smooth, the little A and B and C here, and then we've had this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the S&P, we've had the S&P up here as a B wave up here. You know, I mean, I could sort of change if I come back to the S&P here. You know, there is a good case for 5 waves here. To put wave 1 here as possible and wave 2 right here as possible, then we'd have an A wave here, an A, B and C for the B wave, and the low in here for this, and this would be wave 2 here. But it's rather a large wave 2, you know, compared to this one here, so it's not really the best fit. So these two markets have just deviated from each other for a bit, and you know, like I say, with tops, they don't always end in a nice clean fashion. You'll have some markets that pull other markets around and all sorts of things happen. So yeah, I mean, this is like a slow train wreck really, because we've got Christmas coming in, and we've got, you know, it's low, you know, people would not, you know, big traders wouldn't want to be holding any sort of trades, you know, over that Christmas period, holiday period. But for here, we've got, you know, pretty clear, we've got this wave 1 above the wave 3 here, so we have to stay with wave 4 here as 1 and 2. And, you know, I could look at this as 1 and 2 here as well as the next move up. So that's possible, but as 1 and 2, and then building up for 3, 4, 5 and building higher. So I understand that, or I need to shorten things up and look at this as extended 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and then that will leave this here, wave 5 here, just taking out the top here, and then starting into wave 4 here for this, something like this. It's not going to be clear. So some sort of ABC here for wave 4, and then that will bring that back in line with the NASDAQ once the S&P once that's finished. So I don't know how this is going to move along. But yeah, this leg here really needs to be shorter than this wave 3 here, you know, because wave 3 can't be the shortest. So we've got the extension in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. We've got overlap here. So it's not, you know, it's not a pretty picture. I mean, looking at this here, it looks a bit impulsive down here. So, you know, it kind of reminds me that we should be sort of getting something down here for this and then moving up, you know. So anyway, not quite sure on that. What I want to do with, I'll just bring the S&P back here for a moment, and just bear with me for a second. In this chart here. So, as I've mentioned before, I've kind of wanted to round most of the when we get sort of near the top here, we wanted to round most of the markets up into this wave 5 of 3 here. So that's sort of my aim this week. My aim this week is just to work through the market and just to see, you know, how these markets are going to top, and we need to sort of drag them in. I mean, when we get this wave 4 here, wave 4s can pull back to the wave 4 of one lesser degree. I mean, that's, so it could pull back a long way. Sometimes it can just pull back to, you know, deep into the, you know, the demand area here. 56 is a nice number for this. So, you know, it could be, you know, back into this support here, these old tops here, you know, because markets do that, don't they? When they move through an old top, they eventually come back and check that top. So that's probably a nice space as well for this. So we'll just see how that plays out. But yeah, just bringing all the stocks into this wave 5 of 3. I can do it with most of them. I can't do it with Tesla, and Microsoft is a little bit of a stretch as well. But most of the others I can in a way. I've rearranged my count on Apple here. So from this wave 2 here, I'm going to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave. I'm going to go a WXY over here for wave 4 here. You could probably put that into a triangle. I think our stockman for the US, Alessio, may have done that as well. Yeah, I mean, as an A and a B and a C and a D and an E, that sort of fits. So, you know, you could get it as an impulse wave. You could put wave 1 over here and have wave 2 here, or wave 2 over here. So there's a variety of ways to do it, but my purpose is that I'm looking at this wave 3 here, because if the S&P and the NASDAQ are going to be into this fold here and pull back, then the stocks are going to be doing that. So that's what we're going to do. And when, like I said, we're not going to miss much over Christmas, and also being at 250 here, we're not going to be missing much as well. So we'll be in a little wave 4 here and then a wave 5, and so in this correction here, and then one more move to the upside and then down at that point. So that would kind of give us good timing at that point. So let's just see how we go. So looking at this as wave 4, it looks a little bit impulsive here and corrective here. So we'll probably get this as 1 and 2 here and 3, 4, 5. Don't hold me to this, but you know, we're looking for something like this here, and then we'll see a bigger sort of move here. So, but you know, I mean, we'll be able to, we're not going to, you know, it's just going to be stalling here at Christmas time, which is going to be fantastic. So we're not going to miss anything, you know, and we'll pick up the thread on all of that. Rightio, so over to Amazon. I have to do the same with Amazon as well. So I'm putting, well, I already had this here anyway, it's a wave 3 and 4 here, and then a move up for wave 5. How far it goes up, I don't know. It may stretch up. It might you know, might be quite small. I just don't know. But we need that little wave 4 here at the moment for that to play out, and just bringing this into 1000 ticks here and tightening it up a little bit. So how this wave 4 plays out, is it finished here? I doubt it. Probably needs a little bit more here. And then this wave 5 up here, and how far will it move up? I'm not that sure, but we'll see. We'll just track it. We'll just track the 5 waves, you know, see how far it goes this week. And so once again, this is at 230, so it's top of minor group 1, so it's kind of important, and we'll get a classic trading levels pattern here for this on this particular level. So classic trading levels 1 here, because we've already reacted from here and we're in this space here now. We'll get this and then this, and then if we get this, well, then we'll go up at that point. But basically that's what we're looking for here. So there's no trade here really. It's just going to churn up your space. Now Nvidia, I'm not sure of the best count here, but certainly we've got 1 and 2 here, and I've got 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. Don't know where my little fourth's gone. Doesn't matter. 4th and 5th up here for the third, and the 4th and the 5th. Now this little top here is a bit thin on the ground. It was just part of its earnings, and it was just a little sort of, you know, spike. So I do wonder if this wave 4 here needs to come over here for this, and then we have one more move to the upside on this. So I don't know. but yeah, we'll definitely get a bounce off this, and we'll see how it goes. But we'll probably get this here. This will probably be something like this. Yeah, obviously there's good support on top of this group one, the 130. Wherever you see a 3, it will be part of group 1 of either minor or sub or micro or whatever. So yeah, there's definitely going to be support there. There's going to be a bounce. It can come down further. I just don't know if we get this push up or we need to put wave 3 top in here and we start to look at some of these markets that will lead to the downside on this. So I'm not quite sure the best way to look at that. But even trading short down through here, I would imagine that it would be a bumpy ride, not a nice clean ride. So I'm not going to go into the intraday on that one. And then meta platforms here, reasonably straightforward. We've got this spike here that you could, look at in different ways. But generally speaking, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and going up for 5 here, that's what we've been sort of tracking here. It's possible to put a top in here. That would be sort of okay. I can see that we've got 5 waves to that point. We could probably stretch it up and have another little move to the upside there as well. It doesn't really matter. We're very close to this top here. Okay, and also at the 650, you may not be familiar with the trading levels, but the 65 number would be like a brick wall, so you can have a look at any stock at $6.50 or $65, or Bitcoin at 65,000. It's a weird number, but it carries a fair bit of weight. So in one way or another, we pretty much have the 5 waves up here. So let's just go into 1000 here. So it just depends on how you want to sort of look at things. This particular little move here is kind of up in 3 waves. I could push this over to here and do it that way, and put that there, and put the 3 there and the 4 there, and look for one more move to the upside. But yeah, I don't. This week we don't want to be putting out any trades at this point. This is the count that I've got from the low here. It's telling me on the 100 here that if I looked at this here as 1, 2, 3, 4, it's quite a deep wave 4 here, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I looked at it as 5 waves there, then I'll be a top in. So I really don't know if this top is in play or we get some other. This will be the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here for this, and then we would go up at that point. So that's the other side of the coin here for this, and I'll have to move all this along at this point. So we'll see how that goes. If I get 5 waves down here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I'll know I've got a top in place at that point. But we'll see. And we come over to Netflix, and yeah, so we were looking at this as wave 4 here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Once again, I don't really. I can squeeze 5 waves into here to put wave 5 of 3 here. But I could also put this wave 4 over here for this, and look at this as an ABC pattern. So it's likely, that we could also see another move come into this space here for this, and look at this as wave 4 here. There's different ways to look at that. I'll just have a quick look at. That. Yeah, this wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C. This has got 5 waves here. It's a bit rough, but I can see it. And this here, we could view this as 5 waves down here. So 5 here and 3 here, but 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third. Yeah, it's not that good. I can see it in both ways. We'll see. If it's going to go up here, it's not going to go that far anyway, so we're not missing much. So we're just searching for tops now, really. Alphabet and Microsoft, I've dropped them down because I had this wave 4 over here, and I want to put it over here, put this wave 3 top in here. Now the thing here is Google has taken out its top over here, where Microsoft hasn't. So I'm not sure the best way to count this, but I mean, this one's a bit clearer than Microsoft, so put it that way. So from here we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2. We had this as 1 and 2 before, but just in 1 degree higher. And then I want to tie this into being wave 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, and then bringing this top in play here. Now, I could easily make mistakes in all of this, by the way. Do you know what I mean? And it's not going anywhere. The 200 here, it's a major trading level. The market's not going to go too far. So yeah, it's best not to, not to get into any sort of trend trades before Christmas, I reckon, or even any swing trades. Scalping, doesn't matter what day of the week it is or month or whatever. So from here, I'll just go straight into 1000 here and look at this on the intraday. So we're looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. I don't know how complicated wave 4 will get, but there is space for it to come down lower here. So it can come down to the 38.2, the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So we'll just see how that sort of plays out. Looks a little bit impulsive here, so we'll just see how that goes. But yeah, that's that. We're looking for a little bit more downside here, and then this, and then a larger correction to come into play at that point. So we'll just see. We'll pick it up. We'll just keep chipping away at it this week, and then we'll just see how it goes over Christmas. So Microsoft here. I don't really have any answers. I was trying to sort of push it up the same as Google, and also to put a top in place as well. So it'll be interesting to see if it does make a little top above this one here, and looking at putting it in line with Google as 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 here of 5 of 3. It's not really making a top here. I mean, I could put it. I could look at all of the, as I mentioned before. I could look at all this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. But the problem with doing that, it puts it too far out of timing with the rest of the world. So I just don't have a clear answer for this one really. But let's just go into 1000 ticks and pick it up here. So yeah, looking at this wave 4 here, it can pull back to this wave 4 here, and then we'll look for one more little move to the upside. How far it goes, no idea, but that's kind of it really, and then we'll play it into this wave 4 over here. And then we come over to Tesla. So Tesla is kind of doing its own thing. It's got a little bit more speed in it, the other guy. So we've got this as 1 and 2 here, and so we basically, we're looking for 5 waves in this little move here. So we're going to sort of probably the 450 would be good, and then we'll look for a wave 4 here, and then wave 5 to the upside. So this is probably the best market to be in, I guess, but we've been counting from this wave 4 as 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I could extend it out, as I mentioned before, look at this as a wave 2 and those sort of things. So that's possible, but we'll just see how this little 5 waves go in here for this. And then we come over to the crypto market, and this is on the daily chart here. I've just been leaving the internal count here for Samni and Kitty Upon to handle, but my basic count was from this wave 4 here, tying it into the NASDAQ and the rest of the market as well. So as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then going from all the way up here to wave 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. So we're looking for a move up. It looks like it's moving up okay here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it's got, further to push up. Oopsie daisy, further to push up here, but it'll come back. So we could look at this as 1 and 2 in here. Might need to go and check in that. And this, just before I do check that, this here you could count this in lots of different ways here, yeah. You can, so yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. I just want to go maybe into let's go into 50 ticks and pick it up from that bottom there, see if I can see it. Okay, It's reasonably clear, isn't it? So we've got, I'm not going to label, I'm just going to draw on it, but we've got 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'd have this as 3, 4 here, and then we look at this. I don't know how we can look at this as 1. Yeah, it's a little bit dodgy in here, but the third wave's here, so it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we're looking all of this here. This could all be wave, it could be a top here, or this could be wave 1 and we go up for wave 3 at that point, you know. So it still needs to, whichever way you want to look at it, still needs to climb higher. So it's going to make all the Bitcoiners very happy. In that, I will have a look at how the other boys have counted this here. Let me just bear with me here. I'll just have a look at crypto in here. Okay, let's just have a look at this here. So this chart here has got wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4. And then 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 and 3, yeah, so moving up that way. You could probably look at this as an A wave here, a B wave here, a C wave here, a D wave here, and an E wave here. So you could have a larger triangle point to this area over here as well. I get it, you know. So there are different ways to count this, so there's no need to sort of get sold on it to either way, but the main point is that they're all sort of pointing up. Over Christmas, if you need any help for things, then there'll be, you know, a few of us checking in on this on the chat lounge here. So this is Kitty Upon's count, so he's got it slightly different here. Oh, he's got a smaller triangle in here too, so as an A, B, C, D and E in here, yeah. But like I said, I think you could put this over here as an E wave here as well. So he's still looking for the wave 4 here, and that sort of works as well, I guess, but we are pushing up here higher. So yeah, so this wave 3 top here, and this wave 4 here can come over to this point here, or we need to look at this as 1 and 2 and pushing to the upside. So there's a couple of different ways to count it. So not a huge thing. Yeah, same. Okay, so that's I'll leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.